Hello and welcome to We the People. First, it was the Ishrat Jahan encounter case in Gujarat that triggered a high-voltage political encounter. And now, we've had an extremely critical verdict come out of Maharashtra this past week. One in which 13 policemen have actually been given the life sentence because of their involvement in what the court has decided is a fake encounter. The National Human Rights Commission has actually compensated 191 different cases from across the country in the past 5 years, informing the Supreme Court that they found these cases to be of fake encounters. On the program today, we ask whether as a country we have a wide tolerance and acceptance of encounters as a tool to combat not just gangsters and criminals, but also terrorists. Is this now inevitable as we live in an age of terrorism? Or do we need to invoke stronger constitutional principles to stop this practice? Let me start with Abhishek Singhvi. Mr. Singhvi, while your party was very focused in its criticism of the Ishrat Jahan case, the verdict that we have now seen coming from Maharashtra actually comes from a Congress NCP ruled state. Does the Congress apply the same principle to all cases, wherever they may unfold, that anybody denied due process must be convicted, or is this criticism only for the BJP ruled states?
The answer is an absolute, unequivocal, unambiguous yes. We apply the same standards. You cannot be selective about encounters. It's a very interesting topic you've chosen, Barkha, because axiomatically an encounter by definition is an illegal killing. The only word for that is murder. I think the debate must start, Barkha, from the point that we look around ourselves. If we are a vibrant democracy which has emerged from the yoke of imperialism, we should feel proud that we treat a fake encounter irrespective of the caste, creed, terrorist, non-terrorist, gangster of the victim. We treat it with equal seriousness. Yes, when you have other factors, when you have a debate going on, you may focus at that time on that state. The fact that I speak about Ishrat Jahan's case does not by any means mean that I condone encounters elsewhere in Manipur or Jharkhand or Maharashtra.
Nirmala Sitharaman, is that not a more consistent position than the one that the BJP has taken, for example, in the Ishrat Jahan case, whereby constantly arguing about the background of those killed, and that the CBI says were killed in a fake encounter, the BJP denies that this was the case, but you have underscored constantly that they were terror links. BJP is constantly qualifying what's happened with Ishrat Jahan with ifs and buts.
Not at all. On the contrary, it is very comfortable for the Congress to take that position today. But in the last 10 years, how much of hype was there on the case on which you have a conviction from Maharashtra? How much of questioning has happened in the public domain through the media?
But the Congress is not defending those involved in it. That is perhaps the difference.
Convictions happen now.
You've had nearly 8 years going, discussing a particular encounter from Gujarat. But the comfort which I'm referring to, which has been provided for Congress, not deliberately, inadvertently, and so happens that the comfort has been available for the Congress, is that the encounter which has happened in Maharashtra, for which you're referring to the verdict of yesterday, the day before yesterday, has come without much of a public domain debate. They've not been pulled up, they've not been questioned, they've not been arguing their case. And therefore, it looks as if the BJP is defensive, the Congress has the comfort of lecturing. I think both these cases have been treated differently in the public domain.
So you're saying different standards are being applied to the same principle?
Well, it so happened. I don't even want to sound negative in saying, oh, different standards are being applied. But fact remains that after the electronic boom in this country, the media covering incidences which are of great significance for public policy. You've had opportunities to talk about things which have happened in Gujarat at the cost of talking about the rest of the country. RPN Singh, the MOS Home, has given a statement for the last 3 years, inclusive of up to February of this year, that even in Delhi, a very similar case to that of Ishrat has happened somewhere in Timarpur or area like that, and 10 encounters, which is much more than Gujarat of 8 in the comparable period, has happened in Delhi, and Delhi Law and Order's Home Ministry is concerned, and therefore in those cases, and they are fake questions.
Let him respond.
Barkha, within 48 hours of this conviction, I as the Congress have unequivocally said what I want to say. Where can there be a doubt about the Congress stand? As far as this incident not being, as she puts it, in the public domain, I can only say that she's blaming the BJP. The BJP should be shouting from the rooftops. Thirdly, is it a blame on the media, that the media are not taking it seriously? What does the Congress have to do with it?
I think she's saying it's not politicized to the same extent.
Who politicized it?
That's what I understand from what Nirmala is saying.
What's the answer? What is the reason? The reason is, whether you like it or not, candidly, there is a feeling, a sneaky feeling, which will have to await final judgment, that what happened in Gujarat had some color of state sponsorship. Now try making the same allegation for the 13 convictions in Maharashtra. Policemen rightly convicted. Is there state complicity? I don't even think that the worst Congress hater, the BJP, will make that allegation.
Then the others,
so there is a qualitative difference.
The allegation of a political nexus is what's made it different, and then we have to move on.
No, I'm sorry. I tried elevating the debate a bit more to say on encounters, therefore there is a larger issue.
Yeah.
In spite of us having 10 years of, answering this at a defensive kind of a level, I still think even now, even at a debate level, you find the difference between the response that I am giving and the Congress is giving. Now that it has become so much of a sharp divide between the BJP and the Congress, much before you call it, oh, you're engaging in a tu-tu me-me, I would want to underline the fact that we are interested in having a larger debate on how.
Can we try and
you
do
may
that
go
now?
on it, but I underline the fact that the Congress doesn't want to rise.
Okay, let's just park this here. And Arima Sundaram, on the wider principle, I would argue that actually till a case gets politicized and grabs the headlines, we seem to as a country, as an establishment, accept that while you're combating terrorism or while you're combating criminals, some encounters will happen, some of them will be fake, and there are people who may not say it on record, but enough will say it in their drawing rooms. So what? It's okay.
I think the real problem is the inter-se exchange you found between Dr. Singhvi and Sitaraman. The problem is in all these cases it becomes inter-se political mudslinging.
Yeah.
I fail to understand what we're talking about. A fake encounter is murder. There are three kinds of encounters. One which result in a police shootout, let's say. When you're trying to capture someone and they shoot back, then it becomes self-defense. I feel that's perfectly justifiable. We cannot really question that. The other is the fake, quote, encounter, which is murder. The third is the issue which is really the grey area. These are what we would call state-sponsored encounters which take place in two ways. One, take an encounter as the American government did with Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. There are those like Imran Khan who said Osama should have been arrested and not
absolutely.
killed.
So
but
I
nobody,
want to,
but there were not too many takers for that.
I have the answer for that.
Yeah.
The second is the kind of state-sponsored encounter where you turn around and say X is a known terrorist, therefore go out and eliminate him.
Yeah.